Hello everyone, this is Glenda and welcome back to Creative Grandma. It's Stitch of the Week time, and this week's stitch pattern is for stitch pattern number 91, the Mosaic Granny Square. This was a special request from one of my subscribers who asked me to do this pattern, so they wanted to make an Afghan. So here it is. It's a fun pattern. It does use a little bit more yarn than most patterns because of the texture of the stitches. But I have 3 samples to show you today. Now all my samples have been made with number 4 medium weight worsted weight yarn, and I used a size I9 5.5 millimeter crochet hook. But before I begin, I want to say this pattern was written for 8 rounds with 2 rounds of each color with 4 colors. So it's up to you if you want to change the pattern and use 1 color in each round or whatever you want to do. But the pattern is written for a total of 4 colors, changing colors every 2 rounds. Now this block is a nice size. It's 9 inches by 9 inches. It's just a nice size square. Now, again, you can make this as small or as large as you wish. Now, you're not going to get the pattern until you work probably at least 6 rounds. You really won't see the pattern that good, but it's up to you. You can get creative and do what you wish. Now, this block here, this blue one, was made with Red Heart Super Savers in white, light blue, Delft blue, and royal blue. So I used 3 different shades of blue, starting with the lightest and working my way out to the dark. So if you decided to make this square larger, like a 36-inch block for a baby Afghan, then you could choose many shades of blue and really make this beautiful, or shades of pink, or whatever colors you want to use. There's so many different varieties of how you can do this block. My second sample here I made with 3 colors. I used white in the center, I used heather gray, I used black, and then I brought this white right back out to the edge to pull that white out. So this again is a very pretty block as well. Now this block here, I combined 2 different brands of yarn. I used Red Heart Super Saver in light pink here. And then I found this beautiful Caron Simply Soft Stripes, and this is Times Square number 19006. It's a multicolored yarn, and I used that in here. I used Aruba Sea, which went with that multicolor. It just matched up pretty well with that, and I put that as my 3rd color, and then I put white on the outside as the border. So you can get very creative with these patterns. Now I did already do the video, and then I come back and refilm the front because I wanted to show you what the 2 squares. I'm making this blue one today. Let me zoom out just a little bit so you can see the effect of when you place those blocks together, how that just is really pretty, how that color pulls out. So we're getting ready to start the tutorial. You grab whatever colors you wish. You will need 4 colors. You will need whatever yarn you use. Look on the label and use the recommended hook size. Now this was the 4 medium weight yarn, and I used a size I9 5.5 millimeter hook. So you can use whatever hook, whatever yarn size. Now remember, if you use a smaller hook, you'll get a smaller block. If you use a larger hook, you're going to get a larger block. I'll be right back and we'll get this project started. So I have my yarn attached to my hook, and you want that loose. You've got to make sure this is loose because we're going to put quite a few stitches in this one stitch here. So we're going to start by chaining 4. Yarn over the hook, pull it through the loop. This is your first chain, and this does not count as a chain. Yarn over, pull through, that's 2. Yarn over, pull through, that's 3. Yarn over, pull through, that's 4. So for round 1, we're going to work 2 double crochet into this 4th chain from hook. Yarn over, insert into that 4th chain from the hook, the very last chain, and we're going to work a double crochet. Yarn over, pull it through that chain, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. You just made your first double crochet. We need to make one more double crochet all in the same chain. Yarn over the hook, insert into that same chain, and work a double crochet. That's 2. So the chain 3 counts as your first double crochet, and then you have your 2 double crochet here. So now we're going to chain 2, 1, 2, and we're going to work 3 double crochet into that same chain and chain 2, and we need to do that 3 times. So yarn over the hook, insert it into that same chain that you already worked in, and work your first double crochet. That's 1, yarn over, insert into that same chain, work a double crochet. That's 2, yarn over, insert into that same chain, and work your 3rd double crochet. We're going to chain 2. And you can see that is half our square. We need to do this 2 more times. Yarn over, insert into that same chain, and work your first double crochet. Yarn over, insert into that same chain, and work a 2nd double crochet. Yarn over, insert into that same chain, and work your 3rd double crochet. We're going to chain 2. We need to do that 1 more time. Yarn over, insert into that same chain, and work a double crochet. Yarn over, insert into that same chain, and work a double crochet. That's 2. Yarn over, insert into that same chain, and work a double crochet, and that's 3. We're going to chain 2, and you can see we have our center of our granny square made. And now we're just going to go to the top of that beginning chain 3, count up 1, 2, 3, insert your hook into the top of that chain 3, yarn over, pull through, and pull through that stitch on your hook. You just slip stitched round 1 together, and I'll be right back and start round 2. So for round 2, we're going to slip stitch across these 2 double crochet and over into that corner chain 2 space. So we're going to skip this joining stitch. You're going to insert your hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through that stitch, and pull through the loop on your hook. You just made a slip stitch. We're just working our way over to this corner chain 2 space. Insert into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, and pull through the loop on your hook. Now you're going to insert into that chain 2 space, yarn over, pull through the chain 2 space, and pull through the loop on your hook. When I work my granny squares, I always work across and start in my corner chain 2 spaces. Some people do it differently. This is just the way I do it. So now we're going to start with a chain 3. 1, 2, 3. This chain 3 counts as our first double crochet. And now we're going to work 2 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet, all in the same beginning chain 2 space. So yarn over, insert into that corner chain 2 space, and work a double crochet. That's 1. Yarn over, insert into that same corner chain 2 space, work a double crochet. That's 2. We're going to chain 2, 1, 2, and now we're going to work 3 double crochet all in this same space. So yarn over your hook, insert into that same corner chain 2 space, and work your first double crochet. Yarn over the hook, insert into that same space, and work a 2nd double crochet. Yarn over the hook, insert into the next corner chain 2 space, and work your 3rd double crochet. Your corner is made. We're going to chain 1. Now we're going to start our repeat. So to start the repeat, We're going to skip these 3 double crochet, and we're going to work 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet, all in this next corner chain 2 space. Yarn over the hook, insert into that next corner chain 2 space, and work your first double crochet. Yarn over the hook, insert into that same corner chain 2 space, and work a second double crochet. Yarn over the hook, insert into that same space, and work a third double crochet. You're going to chain 2, yarn over, insert into that same corner chain 2 space, and work a double crochet. That's 1. Yarn over, insert into that same corner chain 2 space, and work a double crochet for 2. Yarn over, insert into that same corner chain 2 space, work a double crochet, and that's 3. You're going to chain 1. You're going to skip the next 3 stitches, and you're going to start your repeat all over again. You're going to work 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet into your corner chain 2 space. You're going to chain 1 and then skip those next 3 stitches, and then you're going to work it again. So go ahead and repeat a round. I will meet you at the end of round 2 and show you how to join. I'm over at the end of round 2, and this is what your work should look like. You should have 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet, and then a chain 1. 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet in that corner chain 2 space. You're going to chain 1, and you should have done that around, and this is what your work should look like. So now we're just going to join. We're going to count up to the top of that beginning chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and we're going to slip stitch our work together. So insert your hook into the top of that chain, yarn over, pull through that chain, and pull through the loop on your hook. So now I'm just going to fasten off my white. I'm going to grab my light blue, and I'll be right back to start round 3. I have my light blue, and I'm going to start by joining my light blue in any corner chain 2 space. Now I fastened off here, so I'm just going to go right over to that first corner chain 2 space, and I'm just going to pull that new color through, and I leave about a 3 or 4 inch length, and I'll come back and secure that later. So now we're going to start with a chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and we're going to work 2 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet, all into this same corner chain 2 space. So yarn over the hook, insert into that corner chain 2 space, and I'm working right around the end of my yarn that's left over, and work a double crochet. That's 1. Yarn over the hook, insert into that same corner chain 2 space, work a double crochet. That's 2. Now we're going to chain 2, 1, 2, and we're going to work 3 more double crochet, all in this corner chain 2 space. Yarn over the hook, insert into that corner chain 2 space, and work a double crochet. That's 1. Yarn over the hook, insert into that corner chain 2 space, work a double crochet. That's 2. Yarn over the hook, insert into that same corner chain 2 space, and work a double crochet, and that's 3. We're going to chain 1. We're going to skip these next 3 stitches. We're going to work a double crochet into this chain 1 space, yarn over the hook, skip those 3 stitches, insert into that chain 1 space, and make a double crochet. Now we're going to do a long front post triple, and we're going to work that in the center stitch 2 rounds below, right in that 3 stitch group. So yarn over the hook twice, bring your hook down to the top front of your work. You're going to go from front to back right in that 2nd stitch, and then right back to the back, and then from the back to the front. So you're just going underneath that stitch, the post of that stitch. You're going to yarn over the hook, and you're going to pull it under that post and then you need to pull up. You need to pull up about an inch. Now if you don't pull up your yarn and you don't pull that up, what will happen is the center of your block will shrink down and you'll have a crooked block. So this is very important. Yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. And this gives your stitch that height you need so this doesn't sink. If you make that too tight, your block will end up curving in the middle. You don't want that, so make sure you pull up on that block to keep the height. Now we're going to work a double crochet in the same chain 1 space above. Yarn over the hook, insert into that same chain 1 space, and work a double crochet. You're going to chain 1. You're going to skip the next 3 stitches, and then we're going to start our repeat. So this is where you start your repeat. We're going to work 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet, all in this corner chain 2 space. So yarn over the hook, insert into that corner chain 2 space, and work a double crochet. That's 1. Yarn over the hook, insert into that same chain 2 space, and work a double crochet. That's 2. Yarn over the hook, insert into that same space, work a double crochet. That's 3. You're going to chain 2. Now we're going to work 3 more double crochet, all in the same corner chain 2 space. Yarn over the hook, insert into that corner chain 2 space, and work a double crochet. That's 1. Yarn over the hook, insert into that same corner chain 2 space, work a double crochet. That's 2. Yarn over the hook, insert into that same corner chain 2 space, work a double crochet for 3. So you made 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet into this corner chain 2 space. You're going to chain 1. You're going to skip these 3 stitches. You're going to yarn over and work a double crochet into this chain 1 space. Now we're going to work a long front post triple into this center stitch 2 rounds below in this 3 stitch group. So yarn over the hook twice. You're going to go on top of front of your work and drop down to that center stitch 2 rounds below. Take your hook and insert it from front to back all the way through the back, and then from the back to the front. So you're going right underneath that post. So yarn over the hook, pull it back underneath the post of that stitch, and you need to pull up about an inch. Make sure you pull up. That's very important so your block does not dip in the middle. Yarn over the hook, pull it through 2 loops, yarn over the hook, pull it through 2 loops, yarn over the hook, and pull it through 2 loops. Now we're going to work a double crochet into this same chain 1 space above. Yarn over the hook, insert into that same chain 1 space, and work a double crochet. You're going to chain 1. You're going to skip these next 3 double crochet, and that's the end of your repeat. So go ahead and start your repeat here. You're going to work 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet into your next corner chain 2 space. You're going to chain 1, skip these next 3 stitches. You're going to work 1 double crochet into the chain 1 space. You're going to work 1 long triple crochet into that center stitch 2 rounds below, right in that middle stitch, and then you're going to work a double crochet into that same chain 1 space. You're going to chain 1 and skip the next 3 stitches. You'll do that 2 more times around. I'll meet you at the end of round 3 and show you how to join. I'm over at the end of round 3, and this is what your work should look like. You can see how our texture is starting to form. And we're going to join by counting up to the top of that beginning chain 3. 1, 2, 3. You're going to insert your hook and slip stitch. Yarn over the hook, pull it through that stitch, and pull it through the loop on your hook. So round 3 is complete, and we're going to start round 4. So I'm going to slip stitch across these 2 double crochet stitches here, and then I'm going to slip stitch into my corner chain 2 space where I want to start round 4. So insert into that next double crochet, yarn over, pull through the stitch, and pull the loop on your hook. Insert into that next stitch, yarn over, pull through the stitch, and pull through the loop on your hook. Insert into that corner chain 2 space, yarn over, pull through that chain 2 space and through the loop on your hook. So now we're in our corner chain 2 space and we're going to start our round. We're going to start by chaining 3 and working 2 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet, all in the same corner chain 2 space. So begin by chaining 3, 1, 2, 3, and this counts as our first double crochet. Now yarn over, insert into that same corner chain 2 space and work a double crochet. That's 1. Yarn over, insert into that same corner chain 2 space and work a double crochet. That's 2. We're going to chain 2, 1, 2. We're going to work 3 more double crochet all in this same chain 2 space. So yarn over, insert into that corner chain 2 space and work a double crochet. That's 1. Yarn over, insert into that same corner chain 2 and work a double crochet. That's 2. Yarn over, insert into that same corner chain 2 space and work a double crochet, and that's 3. And our corner is made. We have our beginning chain 3, 2 double crochet, chain 2, and 3 double crochet all in that beginning chain 2 space. We're going to chain 1. We're going to skip these 3 double crochet and we're going to work a double crochet into this next chain 1 space. Yarn over, skip those 3 double crochet, insert into that chain 1 space and work a double crochet. We're going to work our long front post triple and we're going to go down 2 rounds into the center stitch of this 3 stitch group here. So yarn over the hook twice, come down to the top front of your work, insert your hook from front to back right through and behind your work, and then come from the back to the front. You're just going under the post of that double crochet stitch. Yarn over, pull back underneath the post of that stitch and pull up probably about an inch. And again, this is very important because if you don't stretch that stitch up and have at least a 1-inch loop here, your block will dip in the middle. So yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over and pull through 2 loops. Yarn over, we're going to go back into this chain 1 space above right here. So insert and work a double crochet in that same chain 1 space. We're going to chain 1. We're going to skip these next 3 stitches here and we're going to work the same section of stitches here. We're going to work 1 double crochet in the chain 1 space, 1 long front post triple in that center stitch 2 rounds below, and then 1 double in that same chain 1 space. So let's begin. Yarn over, skip those next 3 stitches, insert your hook into that chain 1 space and work a double crochet. Yarn over twice, come down to the front of your work. We're dropping 2 rounds below, 1, 2. We're going to the front of the work and inserting our hook from front to back around that center stitch and then from back to front just underneath the post of that stitch. Yarn over, pull underneath that post and pull up, and you want to pull up about an inch. Yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over and pull through 2 loops. Yarn over, we're going to go back into that chain 1 space above here where we just worked, and we're going to work a double crochet. We're going to chain 1 and we're going to skip these 3 stitches here. So that's the end of the repeat. So we'll work it one more time, Yarn over the hook. You're going to skip those 3 stitches, insert into that corner chain 2, and work 3 double crochet. And again, this is the start of our repeat. That's 1, yarn over, insert into that same corner chain 2 space, and work a second double crochet. Yarn over, insert into that same corner chain 2 space, and work a third double crochet. You're going to chain 2. We're going to work 3 more double crochet all in this corner chain 2 space, yarn over, insert into that corner chain 2, and work a double crochet. That's 1, yarn over, insert into that same corner chain 2 space, work a double crochet. That's 2, yarn over, insert into that same corner chain 2 space, work a double crochet. That's 3. You're going to chain 1. You're going to skip these next 3 double crochet, and we're going to work a double crochet into this next chain 1 space. Yarn over, insert into that chain 1 space, and work a double crochet. So now we're going to work a long front post triple 2 rounds below in that center stitch of that 3 stitch group. So yarn over the hook twice, count down 2 rounds, 1, 2, to that center stitch of that 3 stitch group, insert from front to back and back to front around the post of that stitch, yarn over, pull back underneath the post of that stitch and pull up about an inch. Yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, and pull through 2 loops. We're going to finish this section by working a double crochet into that same chain 1 space. Yarn over the hook, insert into that chain 1 space, and work a double crochet. So that 3 stitch section is done, and we're going to repeat that. We're going to chain 1, we're going to skip the next 3 stitches, we're going to work a double crochet into this next chain 1 space. Yarn over the hook, insert into that next chain 1 space, and work a double crochet. We're going to work our long front post triple 2 rounds below into that center stitch of this 3 stitch group. So yarn over the hook twice, count down 1, 2 to that center stitch of that 3 stitch group, go from front to back, back to front around the post of that stitch, yarn over, pull underneath and up from that post of that stitch and pull up about an inch. Yarn over the hook, pull through 2 loops, yarn over the hook, pull through 2 loops, yarn over the hook, and pull through 2 loops. Now we're going to work a double crochet into that same chain 1 space. Yarn over the hook, insert into that chain 1 space, and work a double crochet. We're going to chain 1, we're going to skip these 3 double crochet, and that is the end of the repeat. So you're going to repeat that around. Let me zoom out just a little bit. You're going to repeat your 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet into that next corner chain 2 space. You're going to chain 1 and then work your double crochet into this next chain 1 space, your long front post triple in that center double crochet 2 rounds below here, and then your double crochet back into that chain 1 space. You're going to chain 1, you're going to skip this next section of 3 stitches, then you're going to work your double crochet into that next chain 1 space, your long triple front post into that center stitch 2 rounds below, and then come back up and work a double crochet into that chain 1 space. You're going to chain 1, skip these next 3 stitches, and you will repeat that again around your work. So this starts your repeat, this ends your repeat. So go ahead and work that around, and I will meet you at the end of round 4 and show you how to join. So I'm over at the end of round 4, and this is what your work should look like. Now we're going to join by counting up to the top of that beginning chain 3, 1, 2, 3, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, and pull through the loop on your hook. You just slip stitched round 4 together. I'm just going to go ahead and fasten off my light blue. I'm going to grab my next color, which is the Delft blue, and I'll be right back to start round 5. So I have my next color, and this is my Delft blue, and I'm going to leave about a 3 to 4 inch length, and I'm just going to insert my hook in any corner chain 2 space and draw that new color through. We're going to start by chaining 3. 1, 2, and 3. We're going to work 2 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet, all into this same corner chain 2 space. Yarn over, insert into that corner chain 2 space, and work a double crochet. That's 1. Yarn over, insert into that same corner chain 2 space, work a double crochet. That's 2. We're going to chain 2. We're going to work 3 more double crochet, all in this corner chain 2 space. Yarn over, insert into that corner chain 2, and work a double crochet. That's 1. Yarn over, insert into that same corner chain 2 space, and work a double crochet. That's 2. Yarn over, insert into that same corner chain 2, and work a double crochet. So again, we began our round with a chain 3, which counts as our first double crochet, 2 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet, all in that corner chain 2 space. So we're going to repeat basically the same procedure in each round. We're going to chain 1, we're going to skip the next 3 stitches, we're going to work our double crochet into this next chain 1 space, yarn over, insert into that chain 1 space, and work a double crochet. We're going to work our long front post triple 2 rounds below in that center stitch of that 3 stitch group, yarn over the hook twice, go down to the top front of your work, insert your hook from front to back and back to front around the post of that center stitch, yarn over the hook, pull it back through that post of that stitch, and pull up about an inch. You're going to yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, and pull through 2 loops. Now we're going to work a double crochet in this chain 1 space. Yarn over, insert into that same chain 1 space, and work your double crochet. And we're just going to repeat this process across to our next corner chain 2 space. So we're going to chain 1, we're going to skip the next 3 stitches, we're going to work a double crochet into this chain 1 space, yarn over, insert into that chain 1 space, and work a double crochet. Yarn over twice, we're going to come down and work our long front post triple right in the center stitch of this 3 stitch group 2 rounds below. So count down 1, 2. This stitch ends up being a front post triple, so you're just going to go from front to back. You're not going through the whole work, you're just going to go under the post of that stitch. So if you just lift up, you can see you're just going to go under the post of that stitch, yarn over, pull back through the post of that stitch, and pull up about an inch. Yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Now we're going to work a double crochet back into this chain 1 space. Yarn over the hook, insert into that chain 1 space, and work a double crochet. We're going to chain 1. We're going to skip the next 3 stitches, and we're going to work our double crochet into this next chain 1 space. Yarn over the hook, insert into that chain 1 space, and work a double crochet. We're going to work our front post triple in our center stitch 2 rounds below. So yarn over the hook twice. You're going to go from front to back and back to front around the post of that stitch. Yarn over, pull back underneath and through that post of that stitch, and pull up about an inch. Yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, and pull through 2 loops. Now we're going to work our double crochet into this chain 1 space. So yarn over the hook, insert into that chain 1 space, and work your double crochet. You're going to chain 1, and you're going to skip those next 3 stitches, and that is the end of your repeat. I'll do it one more time, and as you can see, the pattern is starting to form where we are repeating the same round now over and over when we do our work. So we're going to go ahead and we're skipping these 3 stitches and we're going to start the repeat again. We're going to work 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet into this corner chain 2 space. So yarn over, insert into that corner chain 2, and we're going to work 3 double crochet. There's 1, there's 2, and there's 3. We're going to chain 2, and then you just turn your block, and we're going to work 3 more double crochet all in that same corner chain 2 space. So yarn over, insert into that same corner chain 2, and work 3 more double crochet. There's 1, 2, and 3. We're going to chain 1, and then we start our pattern all over again. We're going to work that double crochet into this chain 1 space, yarn over, insert into that chain 1 space, and work a double crochet. So now we're going to make our long front post triple in that center stitch 2 rounds below in that 3 stitch group. Now because this is a double crochet, we're going to go from front to back all the way through that fabric to the back and then around that post. When we work in the front post triples, you're only going underneath the stitch itself. So yarn over twice, you're going to drop down 2 rounds below, 1, 2 to that center stitch, insert from front to back and back to front around the post of that stitch, yarn over, pull back through that post of that stitch and pull up about 1 inch. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over your hook, we're going to work a double crochet into the same chain 1 space above and work that double crochet. And you're going to do that across your work until you get to that next corner chain 2 space. So chain 1, we're going to work the double crochet into that next chain 1 space, yarn over, skip those 3 stitches, insert into that chain 1 and work your double crochet. Now we're going to work that front post triple, yarn over the hook twice, drop down, and because this is already a front post triple, we're just going underneath that stitch itself. You just go underneath the stitch. Yarn over, pull back through underneath that post of that stitch and pull up about 1 inch. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. Yarn over, insert into that chain 1 space and work your double crochet. You're going to chain 1. We're going to skip these next 3 stitches and work a double crochet into this chain 1 space. Yarn over, insert into that chain 1 space and work your double crochet. Yarn over twice, insert into that second stitch, the center stitch, 2 rounds below, 1, 2, right in that center stitch, and work your long front post triple. Make sure you pull up about 1 inch, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, insert into that chain 1 space and work that double crochet. You're going to chain 1, you're going to skip these 3 double crochet, and then you're going to repeat from the start. So this is the end of the repeat. So go ahead and work your 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet into that next corner, and then you're going to chain 1, work your double crochet into the chain 1 space, your long front post triple into that center stitch 2 rounds below, and then your double crochet in that chain 1 space, and you're going to do that across your work. So just skip back on the video to where I said this is the start of the repeat and work around your remaining 2 sides, and I will meet you at the end of round 5 and show you how to join. I'm over at the end of round 5, and this is what your work should look like. This is the front and that's the back. I forgot to show the back earlier, so this is what the back of your work will look like. So now we're getting ready to join. So we're just going to count up to the top of that beginning chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and we're going to slip stitch. Yarn over, pull through that stitch, and pull through the loop on your hook. Now to start round 6, we're going to slip stitch across until we get to that corner chain 2 space. So insert your hook into that next stitch and slip stitch. Insert into that next stitch and slip stitch. Insert into that next corner chain 2 space and slip stitch. So now we're ready to start round 6. So round 6, you're going to do exactly as you did round 5. We're going to start with a chain 3, 1, 2, 3. We're going to work 2 double crochet, yarn over the hook, insert into that corner chain 2 space, and work 2 double crochet. There's 1, yarn over the hook, insert into that same corner chain 2 space, and work your second double crochet. So now we're going to chain 2, 1, 2, and we're going to work 3 more double crochet all in this corner chain 2 space. Yarn over the hook, insert into that corner chain 2 space, and work 3 double crochet. There's 1, there's 2, and there's 3. And then we're going to chain 1, and then you're going to start working your pattern with your double crochet, your long front post triple, and your double crochet. So yarn over the hook, insert into that next chain 1 space, and work your double crochet. Yarn over the hook twice. You're going to drop down 2 rounds below, 1, 2, to that center stitch of that 3-stitch group, and you're going to work your long front post triple. Yarn over the hook, pull it back through that stitch, that post of that stitch, and then pull up about an inch. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over the hook, and you're going to go into that chain 1 space and work your double crochet. You're going to chain 1, and you're going to continue working that double crochet, long post triple, double crochet in each of those chain 1 spaces across to your next corner. When you get to that next corner, you're just going to repeat your 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet. You're going to chain 1, and then you're going to work your double crochet, long front triple, and your double crochet going across to your next corner chain 2. It's the same as round 5, so if you need to, just click back on round 5, and by now you should know, the metrics of this pattern, so just go ahead and work that around the same as round 5, and I'll meet you at the end of round 6. I'm over at the end of round 6, and you can see we're just repeating that same process around all 4 sides. I'm going to go ahead and join. We're going to count up to the top of that beginning chain 3, insert your hook, and slip stitch. Yarn over, pull through that stitch, and pull through that loop on the hook. Now I'm going to fasten off my work. I'm going to grab my royal blue, and we're going to work the last 2 rounds of this block. So I'll be right back and start round 7. So I have my royal blue, and again I leave about 3 to 4 inch length. I'm going to insert my hook in any corner chain 2 space, and I'm just going to pull that new color through. We're going to do round 7 exactly the same as we did round 6. We're going to start with a chain 3, which counts as our first double crochet. We're going to work 2 double crochet into that same corner chain 2 space. So there's 1, there's 2. We're going to chain 2, and then you can just turn your block a little so it's easier to do, and then we're going to do 3 more double crochet all in that corner chain 2 space. So yarn over the hook, insert into that corner chain 2 space, and work 3 more double crochet. There's 1, 2, 3. You're going to chain 1, and then we're going to start working our 3 stitch group across to that corner chain 3. So yarn over the hook, insert into that next chain 1 space. You skip those 3 double crochet, insert into that chain 1 space, and work that double crochet. Yarn over the hook twice. You're going to drop down 2 rounds below, 1, 2, insert underneath from front to back and back to front around that center stitch. Yarn over the hook, pull back through that stitch and pull up about 1 inch. Yarn over the hook, pull through 2 loops, yarn over the hook, pull through 2 loops, yarn over the hook, and pull through 2 loops. We're coming back up to this chain 1 space and working a double crochet. Yarn over the hook, insert into that chain 1 space, and work your double crochet. You're going to chain 1. You're going to skip the next 3 stitches, yarn over the hook, work a double crochet into that next chain 1 space, yarn over the hook twice. We're going to come down and we're just going underneath the post of that front post triple. Yarn over the hook, pull back through that stitch of that post and pull up about 1 inch. Yarn over the hook, pull through 2 loops, yarn over the hook, pull through 2 loops, yarn over the hook, pull through 2 loops. We're coming back up to this chain 1 space and working a double crochet. Yarn over the hook, insert into that chain 1 space, and work your double crochet. You're going to chain 1. So go ahead and repeat your 3 stitches across to that next corner as you've done here, and then you start all over at the corner and work your 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet, you chain 1, and then you work your 3 stitches as we have done in the past rounds. So go ahead and finish round 7, work around the rest of the block. I'll meet you, we'll join round 7, and then we'll do our last round, round 8, which is the finishing round, and that will be worked a little bit differently. So I'll meet you at the end of round 7. I'm over at the end of round 7, and this is what your work should look like. Very nicely textured. Now, I'm getting ready to fasten off round 7, but if you wanted to make a bigger block, or if you wanted to just continue working in this pattern for a full-size Afghan, you would just keep working this same round over and over and over until you got it the size you wanted, and you would change colors every 2 rounds. So let's count up to the top of that beginning chain 3, 1, 2, 3, insert your hook, and slip stitch. Yarn over, pull through that stitch, and pull through the loop on your hook. We're going to slip stitch across these 2 stitches and get to our corner chain 2. So insert your hook into that next stitch and slip stitch. Insert into that next stitch and slip stitch. Insert into that corner chain 2 and slip stitch. We're going to start the round the same with a chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and we're going to work 2 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet, all in this beginning corner chain 2 space. Yarn over the hook and work your first double crochet. Yarn over, insert into that same corner chain 2 and work your second double crochet. We're going to chain 2, and then we're going to work 3 double crochet all in the same chain 2 space. Yarn over the hook, insert into that space, and work your first double crochet. Yarn over the hook, insert into that same corner chain 2 and work your second double crochet. Yarn over and work your third double crochet all in that corner chain 2 space. So you have your chain 3, which counts as your first double crochet, 2 double crochet, chain 2, and 3 double crochet all in that beginning chain 2. Now we're going to skip this next stitch and work a double crochet into that center stitch. Yarn over the hook, skip that first double crochet, insert into that second stitch, and work a double crochet. We're going to skip this next stitch and work a double crochet into that chain 1 space. Yarn over the hook, insert into that chain 1 space, and work your double crochet. We're going to work our long front post triple 2 rounds below into that center stitch of that 3 stitch group. So yarn over the hook twice, drop down 2 rounds, 1, 2 to that center stitch, insert from front to back, back to front, yarn over the hook, pull it back through the post of that stitch and pull up about 1 inch. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. We're going back up to that chain 1 space and we're going to work a double crochet. Yarn over the hook, insert into that chain 1 space and work a double crochet. We're going to skip this next double crochet stitch here and we're going to work a double crochet into the center stitch of this front post triple. Yarn over the hook, skip that double crochet, insert into the top of that front post triple and work a double crochet. We're going to skip this next double crochet and we're going to work a double crochet into that chain 1 space. Yarn over the hook, skip that next double crochet, insert into the chain 1 space and work a double crochet. We're going to work a long front post triple 2 rounds below into the center of this front post triple here. So yarn over the hook twice, drop down 2 rounds, 1, 2, just insert your hook just underneath that stitch, yarn over the hook, pull back through around the bottom post of that stitch and pull up about 1 inch. Yarn over the hook, pull through 2 loops, yarn over the hook, pull through 2 loops, yarn over the hook and pull through 2 loops. We're coming back up to this chain 1 space and we're working a double crochet. Yarn over the hook, insert into that chain 1 space and work a double crochet. We're going to skip the next double crochet and we're going to work a double crochet into the top of this front post triple. So yarn over the hook, skip that double crochet, insert into the top of that next front post triple and work that double crochet. We're back over to the chain 1 space, so we're going to skip this double crochet and we're going to work a double crochet into this chain 1 space. Yarn over the hook, insert into that chain 1 space and work a double crochet. We're going to work our long front post triple 2 rounds below into this center stitch, which is the front post triple, and we're just going underneath the post of that stitch. So yarn over the hook twice, drop down 2 rounds below, insert underneath the post of that center stitch, that front post triple, yarn over the hook, pull it back through the post of that stitch and pull up about 1 inch. Yarn over the hook, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. You're going to come back up to this chain 1 space and work a double crochet. Yarn over the hook, insert into that chain 1 space and work a double crochet. We're going to skip this next double crochet and we're going to work a double crochet into this front post triple. Yarn over the hook, skip that first double crochet, insert into the top of that front post triple and work a double crochet. Now I know we're repeating a lot of the same stitches across, but I'm going to go ahead and work this completely across the top just so you get the idea of how to do this last finishing round. So we only have a few more to go. So yarn over the hook, we're going to skip this last double crochet, insert your hook into that chain 1 space and work a double crochet. Yarn over the hook twice. You're going to drop down 2 rounds to that center stitch, which is the front post triple. Insert your hook underneath that stitch, yarn over, pull back through that stitch and pull up about 1 inch. Yarn over the hook, pull through 2 loops, yarn over the hook, pull through 2 loops, yarn over the hook and pull through 2 loops. You're coming back up to this chain 1 space, yarn over the hook, insert into that chain 1 space and work that double crochet. You're going to skip that next double crochet, and we're going to work a double crochet into the center stitch, which is the front post triple. Yarn over the hook, skip that double crochet, insert into the top of that front post triple, and work a double crochet. We're going to work a double crochet into this next chain one space, so yarn over the hook, skip that next double crochet, insert into that chain one space, and work a double crochet. We're going to drop down 2 rounds below and work a long front post triple in the post of this center stitch 2 rounds below. Yarn over the hook twice, drop down 2 rounds below, insert your hook underneath that center stitch, right underneath, yarn over the hook, pull back through that stitch and pull up about 1 inch. Yarn over the hook, pull through 2 loops, yarn over the hook, pull through 2 loops, yarn over the hook, and pull through 2 loops. We're going to come back up to our chain one space and work a double crochet. Yarn over the hook, insert into that chain one space, and work a double crochet. We're almost to the end, so we're going to skip this next double crochet and work a double crochet into the center stitch, which is the front post triple. Yarn over the hook, skip that first double crochet, insert into that front post triple, and work a double crochet. We're over to our last chain one space, so yarn over, we're going to skip this next double crochet, insert into that chain one space, and work a double crochet. Yarn over the hook twice, we're going to drop down to that center stitch, which is a double crochet, and we're going from front to back and back to front underneath the post of that stitch. Yarn over the hook, pull back through that stitch and pull up about 1 inch. Yarn over the hook, pull through 2, yarn over the hook, pull through 2, yarn over the hook, and pull through 2. You're coming back up to this chain one space, so yarn over the hook, insert into that chain one space, and work a double crochet. Now we're over to the last 3 double crochet stitches. We're going to skip the next double crochet and work a double crochet into the center stitch. Yarn over the hook, insert into that center stitch, and work a double crochet. And that is the end of the repeat. So you can see how your pattern is still forming up with those triples, but it finishes in between. So all we did was, instead of chaining 1, we worked a double crochet into that center stitch before we skipped those 3 stitches. So click back on the video and you're going to start in your corner and you're going to work 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet into this corner chain 2 space. So you'll skip this last stitch here and you'll start your pattern with the 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet, and just work this across the remaining 3 sides. So I'm going to go ahead and do that to my block, and I'll meet you back here at the end of round 8. I'm over at the end of round 8, and again we're just going to join with a slip stitch in the top of that beginning chain 3. So count up 1, 2, 3, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through that stitch, and pull through the loop on your hook. Now I'm just going to fasten off and then show you the finished block. So it's a very beautiful stitch. It does use up a little more yarn than most patterns because of these stitches. Just gorgeous pattern. Now you can make this a smaller block if you wish. It just has a more pronounced visual effect when you do, you know, at least 4 colors here, where we did the white with the 3 different color blues. So thank you everyone for stopping by today and learning the Mosaic Granny Square with me today. This is Stitch of the Week pattern number 91, and again, all my Stitch of the Week patterns are free. They're on my website, creativegrandma.net. Just go to the website, click on Stitch of the Week, and you can click the name of the stitch and you'll see the little file come down on the left side of your computer screen, and you can download that right to your computer. You can download one, you can download them all. So thanks again, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this crochet tutorial. So please hit that like button and make sure you subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of our crocheting fun. Happy crocheting!